People are vanishing from U.S. national parks without a trace. No blood, no struggle, no explanation. Even trained search dogs refuse to track. Whistleblowers say there's a secret missing persons book, and it's not public. Is this a cover-up or something not human at all? It's a chilly afternoon in Oregon, Crater Lake National Park. The sky is overcast, the air still. A family of 3 walks along a marked trail. The father watches his 8-year-old son just a few feet ahead. The boy turns mid-sentence, smiling. And then he's gone. No scream, no footsteps, no sound at all. They search for hours, then days. Park rangers, helicopters, search dogs. Nothing. No torn clothing, no blood, no signs of struggle, not even a footprint. The ground he vanished from was soft, volcanic ash. Impossible not to leave a mark. But it's as if he was lifted straight into the air. And he's not the only one. In 1969, 6-year-old Dennis Martin disappears while playing hide-and-seek with his family in the Smoky Mountains. He hides behind a bush. Seconds later, gone. An army of 1,400 searchers combs the forest. They find nothing. Years later, Jared Atadero, age 3, vanishes while hiking in Colorado with his church group. His remains are discovered years later, his clothes oddly intact, his shoes pristine. One park ranger says, "They look like they just come out of the box." But things get even stranger. Search and rescue dogs, trained, disciplined, reliable, often refuse to track these cases. They lie down, whimper, act disoriented. One handler reports his dog trembling uncontrollably, staring into the woods like something was watching. Then there's the impossible pattern. Bodies, when found, are often recovered in areas that were already searched. Sometimes weeks, sometimes years later. As if someone or something is putting them back, almost like a message. Former police officers and rangers have started whispering about cluster zones, areas where people vanish repeatedly under similar conditions. Granite-rich land, heavy rainfall, high electromagnetic fields, and always silence from authorities. One whistleblower, a retired ranger who spoke under anonymity, said, "We were told not to report these cases officially. We logged them in the special book and kept our mouths shut." It's led some to believe we're dealing with more than lost hikers or wildlife attacks. One theory, interdimensional portals. Geologists have documented magnetic anomalies across several parks, especially around granite outcrops. Compass needles spin, radios die, time seems to warp. Some believe these are naturally occurring wormholes, brief openings in reality. Anyone in the wrong place at the wrong moment is simply gone. Then there's the military theory. Several disappearances align suspiciously close to military testing grounds, including underground facilities rumored to exist beneath Yosemite, Smoky Mountains, and even Crater Lake itself. Former employees allege secret experiments with cloaking tech, psychic weapons, and human test subjects. Officially, the National Park Service doesn't keep a centralized list of missing persons. No explanations, no transparency. Unofficially, the number is in the thousands. So ask yourself, why the silence? Why the patterns? Why the eerie consistency in details? Why the dogs refusing to track? Why the clean shoes? Why the bodies returned to places already combed by professionals? Maybe they're not lost. Maybe they were taken. It starts with a map. A retired FBI agent, bored, long off the grid, starts plotting disappearances across U.S. national parks. Names, locations, dates. He expects chaos, randomness. But instead, something impossible emerges. Patterns, not random, not scattered. Clusters, tight geometric formations. And most of them line up with 2 things: ancient cave systems and classified military zones. Now, it's no longer just strange, it's strategic. Take Stacey Ann Arris, 1981, Yosemite National Park. She was on horseback, just a short ride from a group of tourists. She dismounted to take a picture of a nearby lake, within eyesight of a 70-year-old man. Minutes passed, then nothing. She vanished. No scream, no sounds. Only her lens cap was ever found. Or Tom Messick, 2015. An experienced hunter, age 82 but still sharp, armed with a rifle and walkie-talkie. He was waiting on the edge of a forest in the Adirondacks while younger men did a push through the woods. He never radioed, never fired a shot. The dogs brought in to find him, refused to track, sat down, whined. One handler said it was like something had erased the scent. But here's where things get darker. Search and rescue reports in multiple cases have gone missing. FOIA requests denied. Entire pages redacted. Officials say it's due to ongoing investigations. But the cases are decades old. One insider said there's a separate classification code for non-recoverable disappearances. It's not about wilderness survival, it's something else entirely. Then there are the survivors, rare but unforgettable. One hiker was found 12 miles from where she went missing. Her clothes were inside out. No injuries, no memory. She thought she'd only been gone an hour. It had been 3 days. She remembered one thing. Something was watching me. Something that wasn't human. Some disappearances align near massive granite fields, areas known to interfere with electronics, compasses, even time perception. And deep beneath these zones, rumors of DUMBs, deep underground military bases, supposedly built during the Cold War. Some say they are still active. One ex-contractor claimed he worked on a tunnel system connecting several parks, Yellowstone, Yosemite, Mount Shasta. When asked what it was for, he paused, then whispered, "Testing." Testing what? That's where the theories get terrifying. Some believe it's not the military at all, but non-human intelligence. Watching, harvesting, monitoring remote wilderness for genetic material, for psychological data, or something even darker. Autonomous surveillance systems have been reported deep in national forests. Drones with no visible ID, sensors hidden in rocks, strange humming sounds late at night. And then, the oldest theory of all. Caves. Many of these disappearances happen near ancient cave systems, some unexplored to this day. Native legends talk about beings underground, shapeshifters, spirits, predators. What if they were never myths? What if these systems aren't abandoned, but inhabited, or worse, operated? There's no centralized database for missing persons in national parks. The Department of the Interior refuses to track it. But unofficially, over 1,600 people have disappeared in just the past few decades, without a trace. So is it just bad luck? Or is something down there keeping score? He was 74, on oxygen mask, fading fast, a former park ranger in his final hours, alone in a hospice bed. His voice cracked, his breath shallow. They told us never to file missing person reports, just log them in the special book and move on. He said the book wasn't public, not digital, no backups, just a worn leather binder locked in the chief ranger's office. Names, coordinates, no explanations, and hundreds of entries. In 2006, Samuel Boehlke, age 8, disappeared at Crater Lake while hiking with his dad. His father was just feet away. Samuel went ahead to the rim, then was gone. Infrared helicopters scanned the area. Dogs were flown in. The terrain was open and clear. Nothing, not a footprint, not a thread of clothing, just silence. Mount Shasta, same story. Multiple hikers have gone missing. Some never found, others discovered in bizarre conditions. Locals whisper about voices calling from the trees, of people who speak with others' voices, of shape-shifting beings. Native legends talk of Lemurians and Star Watchers. The official record calls them missing persons. But the deeper you look, the more you hit a wall. Search and rescue logs, redacted. Park reports, unavailable. Rangers, silent or suddenly transferred. One ex-employee said he signed 3 NDAs before leaving his post at Yosemite. Another said he was instructed never to mention the word entity in any report, not even informally. But why? Because some believe these places aren't just forests and rocks. They're zones of containment, granite fields, magnetic hotspots. These aren't coincidences. Scientists have admitted the rocks can distort radio frequencies, GPS signals, even human cognition. But what else are they interfering with? Could these fields be barriers? A few rogue physicists think so, suggesting they act like natural Faraday cages, cutting off whatever is inside from the rest of the world. Not to protect us from nature, but to protect something else from us. Then there's the most chilling theory of all, the government-nature pact. Rumors say the US government struck a deal in the early Cold War years after strange aerial encounters in remote regions. In exchange for non-disclosure and access to untouched wilderness, a quiet arrangement was made. Let them take a few, close the case quickly, keep it off the radar. Every ranger knows the script. Family says he was right ahead of us. Ranger says he must have gotten lost. Family says, we already searched here. Ranger says animals can scatter remains, but some of these victims were never even in the forest alone. One boy vanished while holding his mother's hand, gone in a blink. So maybe the real question isn't why they disappear, it's why no one is allowed to ask. Why no ranger dares speak? Why dogs stop tracking? Why the bodies, when found, seem placed? And why some of these parks are located next to decommissioned military labs, forgotten Cold War installations, or rumored underground military bases. Places with no lights, no fences, just signs that say, do not enter. Thousands missing, no answers. Maybe they didn't get lost. Maybe they were taken. And maybe the forest isn't what we should be afraid of.